10 jacket brands that actually hold up without draining your wallet. These are not the flashiest names. They are the ones that scored highest on durability, weather protection, and value when real consumers tested them in real conditions over real time. Number 10. Wrangler's outerwear line sits at the entry point of this list with jacket prices running between $45 and $85. The brand's flannel-lined denim jacket and the blanket-lined chore coat both scored above average in Consumer Reports durability testing, with the denim shell rated for abrasion resistance at a level that outperformed jackets retailing for twice the price in the same test group. The outer shell on the signature denim jacket is a 12-ounce cotton denim, a fabric weight that provides genuine abrasion resistance rather than the 8 to 9-ounce denim used in fashion-oriented jackets from brands charging $150 to $200. The flannel lining adds approximately 15 to 18 degrees Fahrenheit of warmth retention compared to an unlined shell, tested in controlled temperature drop conditions. The stitching uses a chain stitch construction on the primary seams, the same method used in original American workwear and significantly more durable under tension than the lock stitch used in most budget outerwear. Hardware is brass-coated steel. Zipper pulls on the tested jackets showed no corrosion after 52 wash cycles. In Consumer Reports testing, a benchmark, most budget jackets fail by cycle 20 at $65 for the flannel-lined version. The cost per year of documented wear based on consumer longevity reports averages $13 to $16. No budget jacket at this price point consistently outperforms that ratio. Number 9. Carhartt's budget outerwear tier, specifically the active jacket and the mid-weight sleeve logo sweatshirt jacket, retails between $70 and $110 and represents the clearest case study on this list for what happens when a brand optimizes for workwear durability rather than retail appearance. The active jacket uses a 100% ring-spun cotton outer shell at a fabric weight of 12 ounces per square yard. Ring-spun cotton at this weight is the same fabric specification Carhartt has used in its core workwear line since the 1880s, a specification chosen for its resistance to tearing, abrasion, and repeated stress at seam points under heavy use. Consumer Reports rated the active jacket in the top tier of its budget jacket category for seam integrity after 100 wash cycles, with no measurable seam separation across the shoulder, underarm, or side seam stress points. The triple-stitched main seams are the key construction detail. 3 parallel rows of stitching across every primary seam means that if one row fails, 2 remain. Most budget jackets use single or double stitching on main seams. Carhartt's triple stitch adds approximately $2 to $4 to the manufacturing cost per unit and extends measured seam life by an estimated 40% compared to double-stitched equivalents in independent wear testing. Water repellency on the active jacket is not a technical coating. It is the fabric density itself, tight enough to resist light rain without a DWR treatment that wears off. Consumer Reports documented functional water resistance after 75 wash cycles with no retreatment. A result, no DWR-coated budget jacket in the same test group matched past cycle 30. Number 8. Columbia's budget tier, anchored by the Steens Mountain Fleece and the watertight 2 rain jacket, retails between $60 and $100 and scored consistently high in Consumer Reports testing for weather protection relative to price. The Watertight 2 uses Columbia's proprietary OmniTech waterproof breathable membrane, a bonded 2-layer construction that seals the seams and blocks water penetration while allowing moisture vapor from the body to escape outward. Consumer Reports tested the Watertight 2 at 1,500 millimeters hydrostatic head pressure, the industry standard threshold for functional waterproofing in sustained rain. The jacket held its waterproof rating through that test after 30 wash cycles, with no reproofing, outperforming jackets from brands charging $200 to $250 that use similar membrane technology at higher retail prices. The Steens Mountain Fleece, retailing at $65, uses a 100% polyester MNTR filament fleece at 250 grams per square meter. Consumer Reports rated it among the top 3 budget fleece jackets for warmth-to-weight ratio, providing measurable insulation at a fabric weight light enough for layering under a shell without restricting movement. Zipper quality across both products tested above average in the Consumer Reports Hardware Durability Assessment, with YKK zippers standard across the Columbia budget line, a specification most brands at this price point replace with lower-grade alternatives to reduce cost. Number 7. Dickies. Dickies jackets retail between $50 and $90 and occupy a specific position in the budget outerwear category as the workwear brand most consistently recommended in Consumer Reports reader satisfaction surveys for value retention over time. The Dickies Eisenhower jacket, retailing at $65 to $75, uses a 7.5-ounce polyester cotton blend outer shell with a quilted polyester lining. Consumer Reports durability testing rated the Eisenhower above the category average for color fastness after repeated washing, with color retention scoring significantly higher than competing jackets at equivalent price points. The brass finish snap closures on the chest pockets and cuffs tested with no mechanical failure across 200 open-close cycles in Consumer Reports hardware testing, compared to a category average failure rate of 12% at 150 cycles. The cut is a relaxed workwear fit with articulated elbows, a pattern detail that reduces fabric stress at the point of highest movement-related wear. Consumer Reports noted in its workwear outerwear review that articulated elbow construction extends functional life at that stress point by an estimated 25 to 35% compared to a straight-cut sleeve, a detail typically found in jackets retailing above $150. At $70, the Eisenhower delivers that construction at a price point where it is almost entirely absent from the competition. Number 6. Hanes. Hanes enters this list through its outerwear and fleece jacket range, specifically the Hanes Men's Full Zip Eco Smart Fleece, retailing between $25 and $45, which Consumer Reports identified as the highest-rated jacket in the under $50 category across its value assessment surveys. The Eco Smart Fleece uses a 50-50 cotton polyester blend at 270 grams per square meter, a fabric composition that balances the natural breathability of cotton with the shape retention and moisture-wicking properties of polyester. Consumer Reports wash durability testing put this jacket through 100 cycles with no significant pilling beyond cycle 40 and no zipper failure through the complete test sequence. The pilling resistance score placed it above the category average for blended fleece jackets at this price point, where most competitors use a higher polyester ratio that pills faster under friction. The YKK zipper is standard across the Hanes outerwear line, a cost decision that most brands at this price tier avoid by substituting lower-grade alternatives. Consumer Reports noted the zipper consistency as a key differentiator in the under $50 category, where zipper failure is the most common cause of early garment retirement cited in reader longevity reports. At $35, the Hanes fleece jacket delivers the highest documented wash cycle durability per dollar of any jacket on this list. Number 5. Legendary Whitetails. Legendary Whitetails is a hunting and outdoor brand with a budget outerwear line retailing between $79 and $139 that Consumer Reports reader surveys consistently rank among the highest for cold weather performance at price points below $150. The Journeyman shirt jacket, retailing at $89, uses a cotton poly flannel outer with a Sherpa fleece lining at a combined fabric weight that Consumer Reports measured for thermal resistance using the CLO value system, the standardized unit of thermal insulation. The Journeyman scored 1.8 CLO, placing it in the same thermal performance range as down-insulated jackets, retailing at $200 to $280. The Sherpa lining is a 280-gram polyester pile that Consumer Reports tested for loft retention after 50 compression cycles, simulating the repeated packing and unpacking that degrades insulation performance over time. loft retention after 50 cycles was 94%, a figure that outperformed every synthetic insulated jacket in the Consumer Reports budget category test group. The outer shell uses a Teflon DWR treatment rated for water resistance to 500 millimeters, hydrostatic head pressure, adequate for light rain and heavy dew, and documented by Consumer Reports to retain 80% of its original repellency after 20 wash cycles when tumble-dried, which reactivates the DWR coating through heat. Number 4. Arctix. Arctix is primarily known for ski and snow pants, but its insulated jacket line, retailing between $60 and $110, scored among the highest in Consumer Reports testing for cold weather insulation performance relative to price in the budget category. The Arctix men's inversion insulated jacket uses 85 grams of Thermatech insulation, a synthetic fill rated by the brand to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit for activity-based warmth. Consumer Reports conducted independent thermal chamber testing on the inversion jacket and measured functional insulation to minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit in low wind conditions at moderate activity levels, a result within 5 degrees of the brand specification and significantly above competing budget insulated jackets using 60 to 80 gram fill weights at equivalent price points. The shell is a 210 denier polyester with a DWR coating tested by Consumer Reports to 1,000 millimeters hydrostatic head pressure, twice the threshold of the Dickies and Hanes entries on this list and within functional range of technical shells retailing at $180 to $220. The critically taped seams on the shoulder and hood attachment points, a construction detail that prevents water entry at the needle holes left by stitching, are standard on the inversion jacket and absent from most budget insulated jackets at this price point. At $85, the Arctix inversion delivers technical shell construction and synthetic insulation performance that the budget outerwear category rarely offers below $150. Number 3. Denim and Flower. Denim and Flower is a brand available primarily through Costco and warehouse retail channels, with jacket prices running between $39 and $79 that Consumer Reports reader satisfaction surveys have placed consistently in the top tier for perceived quality relative to price across 3 consecutive annual surveys. The brand's quilted puffer jacket, retailing at $49 to $59, uses a 380 fill power synthetic insulation in a diamond quilted shell construction. Consumer Reports tested fill power retention on the Denim and Flower puffer after 30 wash and dry cycles and measured an 8% reduction in loft compared to a category average loft reduction of 22% for synthetic insulated jackets at equivalent price points. The shell is a 50 denier polyester with a DWR treatment that Consumer Reports documented retaining 75% of original water repellency after 15 wash cycles, above the budget category average of 60% retention at the same interval. The shell stitching uses a box quilt pattern with seams spaced at 3-inch intervals, a quilt geometry that limits cold spots at the seam lines better than the wider 4 to 5-inch spacing used in most budget puffers. Consumer Reports thermal imaging testing confirmed lower surface temperature differential at the seam lines in the Denim and Flower jacket compared to competitors with wider quilt spacing, confirming measurable insulation consistency across the panel surface. At $55, this is the highest-rated synthetic insulated jacket under $80 in the Consumer Reports budget category assessment. Number 2. Uniqlo. Uniqlo's ultralight down jacket retails between $69 and $99 and has appeared in Consumer Reports' best value outerwear recommendations in multiple consecutive years, the only brand on this list with that distinction. The ultralight down uses 90% down and 10% feather fill at a 640 fill power rating, verified by Responsible Down Standard certification, which tracks the fill material through the supply chain from source to finished product. Consumer Reports independently tested the fill power at 620 to 635 within normal measurement variance of the brand specification and documented loft retention of 91% after 50 wash and dry cycles, the highest loft retention figure of any down jacket tested in the Consumer Reports budget category across the last 3 years of testing. The shell is a 15 denier ripstop nylon, the thinnest and lightest shell fabric on this list. Consumer Reports abrasion testing flagged the shell as the primary durability vulnerability, with surface wear beginning to show after moderate abrasion testing. The jacket is not a workwear outer layer. It is a packable insulating layer built to a thermal and weight specification that no other brand on this list approaches at this price point. The packed size compresses to the jacket's own chest pocket, reaching a packed volume of approximately 1.3 liters. Consumer Reports measured the weight at 11.6 ounces for a size medium, making it the lightest jacket on this list by a significant margin while delivering 640 fill-power down insulation. Warmth-to-weight ratio is the highest on this list. Durability under abrasion is the lowest. Those two facts define exactly who this jacket is for and who it is not for. Number 1. Carhartt Rain Defender. Carhartt appears twice on this list because two distinct products scored at the top of their respective categories in Consumer Reports testing. The Rain Defender Relaxed Fit Midweight Fleece Full Zip Hoodie Jacket, retailing between $70 and $90, scored the highest overall rating in Consumer Reports budget jacket testing across the combined metrics of durability, weather resistance, construction quality, and consumer longevity reporting. The outer surface uses Carhartt's Rain Defender durable water repellent technology applied to a 13-ounce fleece shell, a fabric weight 30% heavier than the Columbia Steens Mountain Fleece tested earlier on this list. Consumer Reports hydrostatic head pressure testing rated the Rain Defender fleece at 800 millimeters after 25 wash cycles with no reproofing, the highest water resistance figure of any fleece jacket in the Consumer Reports budget category. Standard fleece without DWR treatment averbs, zero measurable hydrostatic resistance after 10 wash cycles. The Rain Defender coating retained functional repellency 150% longer than the category average in Consumer Reports wash cycle testing. The triple-stitched main seams, the same construction standard as the Carhartt Active Jacket, produced zero seam failures across 150 wash cycles in Consumer Reports durability testing, the only jacket in the budget category to reach that benchmark without seam degradation. The YKK zipper, standard across the Rain Defender line, showed no mechanical failure across 500 open-close cycles in hardware testing. The category average failure rate for budget jacket zippers is 18% at 300 cycles. Consumer Reports reader longevity surveys show an average reported ownership duration of 6.2 years for the Rain Defender fleece, the highest figure of any jacket on this list, and higher than several jackets in Consumer Reports mid-range category retailing between $150 and $250. At $80, divided across 6.2 years of documented average ownership, the annual cost of the Rain Defender fleece is $12.90. No jacket on this list beats that figure. No jacket in the Consumer Reports mid-range category beats it either. Here is a number worth running. The average American man buys 2.4 outerwear pieces per year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Expenditure Survey, at an average spend of $142 per jacket. That is $340 per year, $3,400 per decade, and over $13,000 across an adult purchasing lifetime. If he drops that average spend to $85 by buying from this list and gets documented equivalent or superior durability, he saves $1,370 per decade without wearing a worse jacket. He wears a better tested one.